How about that film right there? I can do better than that. Give it up one more time for The Intruder. That's what I like to call a movie. You guys were having fun with that. I felt the energy. I was excited. You guys were going crazy, going nuts. Love it. That's how it's supposed to be. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. Incredible, incredible film. Now we're about to have an even more incredible experience with the Q&A. Thanks a lot for staying. It looks like a lot of people stayed, which is really good. I appreciate that. I'd like to introduce myself. This is fun right here. I love doing this. I probably love movies more than everybody in this room except for the guy that made this film right here, who's going to come up here and talk about The Intruder. But I know you guys love movies as well. So I want to say thanks a lot to the Hollywood branch of the NAACP for coming out tonight. And I'll let you guys in on a little secret. I'm an AXO kid from back in the day. So I actually used to compete in filmmaking back when I was in high school. I competed freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. But it was way back in the day. It was so far back in the day, the years that I competed in AXO, I did filmmaking, and a guy by the name of Anthony Anderson did oratory. So we're both sort of like close in age. So we're both AXO kids, so I have a lot of love for the NAACP. Not a part of the Hollywood branch. Actually flew in from Kansas City, Missouri. I'm a film critic. There you go. KC in the house. That's what I'm talking about. So if KC's in the house, hi, may I help you? There you go, baby. Gates Barbecue all day, every day. That's what I'm talking about. You know the deal. Come on. No offense to Memphis or Texas or North Carolina, but the best barbecue is in Kansas City, Missouri. But we'll talk about that later. We got this incredible movie to talk about. We have some special guests coming in the house tonight. But yeah, I'm a film critic for Fox 4 News in Kansas City. I'm also the co-founder of the African American Film Critics Association, and we just produced a big event last night called A Celebration of Black Film. I told you, I love, love, love movies, particularly black movies and black filmmakers. So I am very proud to bring up the first of our 4 special panelists tonight, the young man that created the film that you saw here tonight, Mr. DEON Taylor. Where's DEON? DEON, where you at? Somebody get DEON. Where's DEON? Come on. Yeah, one more time for DEON. Tell DEON to come on. We got a movie to talk about. Also, let me give a big shout out to the Los Angeles Film School students in the house tonight. Wow, there you go. Look at all these future filmmakers in the house tonight. Y'all need to hurry up and graduate so I can see y'all movies. I'm ready. How many future directors we have in the house? How many future screenwriters we got in the house? Cinematographers? Set designers? All right, there we go. Editors? Yeah, that's right, editors, yeah. Electricians? Drivers, caterers, accountants, lawyers. Y'all saw the end credits. You can do more than just be a director and work in the industry. Trust me. There's a lot of jobs you can have in the movie. There he is. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. DEON Taylor, Mr. Hidden Empire himself, the man who brought you that movie you just saw, The Intruder. Grab your mic. This is right here on the chair. There he is. This is my man right here, DEON Taylor. Everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Front and center. Now, you know, making a movie is not an individual thing. All the students from Los Angeles Film School know that. It takes a team, right? Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to introduce you to DEON's partner, Miss ROXANNE Taylor.
I don't know where she's at.
Oh, you don't know ROXANNE? All right. Wait a minute.
We're all out there. Michael Ealy just got here.
I know.
I
know. I went and picked them up out the parking garage.
Anyways, I will say while they're coming in, I will tell everyone thank you so much for tonight. What a great experience. You know what? We made this movie and it released earlier this year, and this movie opened opposite of Avengers Endgame. And the opening weekend, it was also surrounded by 3 other $50 million movies. And just so you guys know, this movie was made for $4 million and shot in 24 days, 23 days. And this movie opened number 2 in the world. Yes.
And the big reason why that movie opened number 2 is because Roxanne Taylor was very instrumental in helping get that movie launched, distributed it, and marketed it correctly. Here she is, Roxanne Taylor.
Come on, Rock.
There you go. See, all you Los Angeles Film School students, the women who are in the house, there you go. Women behind the scenes making it happen. Black women, all black women stand up.
Come on, give it up now.
Come on, black women stand
Come
up.
on, stand
black
up.
women
Stand
stand
up.
up.
Come on.
There you go. Black women stand up.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want to do
Yes.
in this industry. We want to see more stories told by black women. I want to review nothing but movies made by black women other than the movies that DEON does.
That's awesome.
You still got a space. All right, you saw the movie. You see the people behind the movie, but the movie can't be dope unless you have incredible talent in front of the camera. This movie.
My Lord.
Yes, there you go. There you go. This movie had one of the most incredible. I think I've seen 220 movies in 2019. Nah, I got to watch them all because I got to go on TV and talk about them, tell people if the movie's bad, if the movie's good, or does it measure up to The Intruder? Most movies don't. The reason why the movie's so good is because the people in front of the camera were incredible. He's not here tonight, but I got to give props to Dennis Quaid. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he was great.
I can't even watch The Parent Trap anymore. Done. I took the DVD to the store and sold it, and it's in the dollar bin now. I can't watch Parent Trap anymore. Dennis Quaid, give it up for Dennis. Dennis killed that right there.
Yeah.
Man. But you know why Dennis was so dope? Because he had a supporting cast all around him. And this young man right here, I don't even know how he made it to the Q&A today. He stay working. All he do is make movies and make checks. He's on the set and at the bank. And the reason why is because he's had an incredible career. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Michael Ealy.
Yeah!
Mike.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
What's up, y'all?
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I am really, really excited to announce the next person because we had an event called the Celebration of Black Film, and the reason why we did that event is because I love giving props to movies that really made an impact back in the day. And one of the movies that had a tremendous impact on me when I was first getting into the game, when I was growing up, was a movie by the name of Eve's Bayou. Oh, my goodness. And last night, we had a chance to honor the director of Eve's Bayou, Casey Lemons. Really felt good to honor her on the 100th anniversary of the first ever black film that was directed, written, produced, and distributed by a black person, Oscar Michaud, The Homesteader, in 1919, which is why we celebrated 100 years in 2019. But Eve's Bayou is a landmark film. It's one of those movies that everybody should see, no matter what generation you're a part of. Whether you're a millennial, whether you know, a World War II vet, I don't care. You got to run, do not stop, push play, watch Eve's Bayou. And the reason why it was so incredible is because of this young lady. It was her first movie. She was so dope in the movie. And now she's sort of transitioned. Not only is she acting, but now she's a filmmaker. Like I said, black women stand up. We got another black woman filmmaker in the house, and she goes by the name of MEAGAN Good.
Yeah!
MEAGAN Good. Yes.
All right, we here.
Here we go. We have royalty.
all back.
We got royalty in the house. But I'm going to start the first. And what we'll do is, I know you guys probably have a lot of questions, so I'll do a couple of formal questions because I know you guys didn't come here to hear me talk, and I know you guys, especially the film students and members of the NAACP Hollywood branch, I know you guys have a lot of cool questions, so we'll open it up. But I just want to let each person kind of like set the tone in the beginning, and we'll take it from there. But the first question goes to DEON Taylor because I think his backstory is so incredible and so inspiring. And the thing that always struck me about DEON as a filmmaker, he's self-taught. So talk about that journey and what led to you being inspired to say, hey, I don't want to just watch movies anymore. I want to make movies.
Oh man, that's great. Yeah, so I mean, basically, I was just a fan of film, like a lot of people in the room right now. I just was someone that, when I was growing up in high school, junior high, just loved movies. Obviously, growing up, low-income housing, film is how you escaped. So renting movies, going to the movies on the weekend, you know, every Eddie Murphy movie you could think of, Predator, everything y'all know. You know, you grow up watching these films, and later in life, I had a great idea, like to actually write a screenplay. Had nobody that knew film, taught film, was a director. As a matter of fact, I never even heard of anybody directing a movie. I just had an idea, and I explored that idea. And that journey took me on almost a 5-year ride trying to figure out how do you get a movie made. And it was probably the toughest part of my life in terms of a filmmaker. Getting told no everywhere you went, people laughing at the idea, people not taking you serious, you know, walking in rooms and pitching the idea, and somebody like, oh yeah, that's just like this idea. All of the things that you go through daily. And I just remember every day being like, damn, man, this gotta work. Like I just had I felt like my idea was better than everyone else's idea. And you have to be that way. You have to be disciplined in what you believe in. You have to pursue it. And a lot of that was based on the fact that I was a basketball player. And at the time playing ball, I had been, you know, obviously fortunate enough to go play professional basketball overseas. And it took me years to be able to get to that place. So being told no, working your ass off, and the coach being like, you ain't gonna make it this time, I was aware of how that worked. So having thick skin in Hollywood is needed, because a lot of times people don't believe in anything you have until you prove and show what you can do. Then even when you do that, they still don't believe. So you gotta do it over and over and over again. And I just applied that to what it was I was doing. And we ended up figuring out very quickly that Hollywood would not make our movie. So we figured out the next step to that was to actually go make our own movie. And that took us on a 15-year journey now. And that journey has been colorful, it's been crazy, it's been up, it's been down. It's been everything. I mean, and you look back now and be like, damn, we must have been some goddamn fools to go through all the stuff we done went through. You know what I mean? But you understand that you have to go through that to get to where you're going. And the reality is for you not to look back, and for you to continue looking forward, and for you to continue making your own path and believing in God and understanding what you're doing no one has ever seen. And it's your job to create that road. And if you stop building your road, then you'll stop traveling. And those are the things that kind of pushed us, myself, Roxanne, Ephraim, that's sitting right there. And that allowed us to get to the place we are now, to where, you know, this film came on the heels of, we kept being told no, being able to get distribution. We were making good movies, but then we couldn't find out how you get the movie out. How do you get the damn movie out? You done made it, so you're like, all right, what happens now? And that's the part don't nobody ever talk about, right? That's like, okay, you did all the work to make this movie. Now, how do you make people go to the theaters and see it? You think like you just wave a wand? That's not how it works. And we were told no for 3 really good movies where I was like depressed. And I was like, man, I don't want to make no more movies because we keep making these great movies and we can't get them in front of people like you. And finally, I went and had not a meeting. Mike Epps called me one day and was like, DEON, you got to come down here, man, to my show. And I was like, all right. So I went down to his show, and he was like, man, I want to make one of them horror movies. And I said, Mike, ain't nobody finna watch no damn horror movie with you in it. You know what I mean? I said, man, they gonna laugh out the goddamn, come on, man, seriously, man, let's make it. So I remember just talking to him and leaving, and about a week later, the movie The Purge came out. And I remember I was like one of the first people in line to see The Purge. Went to see The Purge movie, sat in the theaters, audience just like this. And I remember somebody behind me was like, oh, hell no, the horn just went off. Everybody finna die. And then everybody in the whole theater just started talking. I left that theater and I called Mike and I said, I got an idea. He was like, what is it? That idea became Meet the Blacks. We made Meet the Blacks for under $1 million. We shot the movie in 14, 15 days. We finished that film, and this was like a non-traditional movie that I would never make. Like, I'm like, we just had a good time, and we called Charlie Murphy. He came down. I mean, Mike Tyson. Everybody was just coming for like an hour. Like, what's up? What you want me to do? And we just did this film, and we finished the movie, and I had no idea that this was really God's plan. And you guys listen to this, because this is a pretty incredible story. We had all these great movies that we had made. Then we were making this little bitty $1 million movie with Mike Epps and Little Duval and everybody, Mike Blackson, and we cut the movie and finished it, and I was like, man, this is really funny. And we came back to Hollywood, was trying to sell this movie. And everybody was like, oh man, this is really funny, but I don't know. So we had this big, what we thought at the time was like big time sales screening. They like, we gonna invite all the studios, they gonna come watch it, and when you walk out the room, poof, it's gonna happen. We like, damn. So we got our clothes and shit on, we getting ready. We like, damn, we finna poof, it's finna happen, right? Man, all these people. So I remember watching all the people come in the room, and I'm like, damn, ain't nobody black. So I'm like, well, how they gonna, you know, it's Meet the Blacks. So I'm like, all right, I don't know if they gonna get this. So the theater is laughing, they're laughing at everything in the movie. Movie's over, we waiting in the lobby, everybody, oh man, it was funny. So we go to the agent at the time who was selling the movie. We like rubbing our hands, like, what we got? We don't have nothing. You know what I mean? So he like, we don't have nothing. We got this one offer. And I'm like, what's that offer? And it was like literally for like $1 million. And I was like, man. And we went home, and I remember saying to myself, like, we're not gonna do that deal, because we done got hosed 3-4 times on movies just like this. Now I'm getting ready to tell you guys this story, because you gotta understand how God works and how things sometimes come in a different package, okay? So we decide we're not gonna sell Meet the Blacks to the studio. We decide that we're gonna actually take the movie. This is funny as hell. Me and her look at each other, and I said, well, shit, we could put it out ourselves. And that's what we did. We took that movie, we cut our own trailers, we made our own posters, we did our own, at that time, Instagram was 10 seconds. I don't know if y'all remember that. We did our own Instagram stuff, and at the time we had everybody, Tiny, Charlie Murphy, Mike Epps. So we had like almost 100 million followers with that cast. We cut individual trailers for everybody in the movie. We put that movie out into the theaters by ourselves, no studio, okay? Here's where it gets really great. The movie on the opening weekend, like, we're coming out in 3 weeks, so we going crazy, like, yo, it's gonna be lit. Like, we got everybody ready, and all of a sudden, a movie called Batman versus Superman jumps a month up to our date, all right? So we like, damn, this is crazy. Like, Marvel's home, right? So DC's there. So we like, what's gonna happen? That movie opens number 4 in the world. Number 4 in the world, and it continues to make money. That movie opened the door for every film that we have done thus far, from Intruder to Black and Blue to Fatale to Traffic, each and every movie. So what happens now is this movie was next up. We finished this film, we had a movie called Traffic, right? Which was right after that, and then we had just finished shooting The Intruder. That movie, because we self-released, it told everybody in Hollywood, we need to buy their movies because they'll just put it out themselves. And here we are today. So it's an incredible story, but it allows you to have the energy and the power to be able to control your own destiny, which is what you need. So you're not making a film and going to someone with your hat in your hand saying, please, can you please put my film out? Sometimes you gotta take a very odd step in order to find your right footing. And that's what Meet the Blacks did for us for The Intruder.
Well, there you go. I know. Man, don't you love it? I love the energy. Michael, Megan, top that. But no, you guys were fantastic in The Intruder. Talk a little bit about working with DEON and the interplay you two had and the magic you had. and the dancing and techniques you had to execute with Mr. Dennis Quaid to pull off the Intruder, to make everybody in the audience go nuts and scream and jump and yell.
Can I say one thing before
watching.
y'all start yelling at
maybe
Megan?
You should ask them how it was to work with
Can I
Daniel
say one
Pearl.
thing? Can I say one thing? Listen, here's what's crazy about the Intruder before
he not
Megan
gonna
starts talking. What you guys don't see in that movie, which I think is actually genius, in the Intruder, Megan never sees the Dennis Quaid that you guys seen in the whole film. And I've been running all over the country telling people, she never, ever, not one frame of that movie, if you get to see it again, she's never seen the Dennis Quaid or the Charlie Peck that Mike Ealy sees in the film. So that's why a lot of the moments you're like, oh, girl, you tripping. Don't you let him in. The only thing she's ever seen with him was him being nice. So he wore a mask in the film, which was actually really dope for Dennis Quaid. He actually played 4 or 5 different characters. And so, anyways, I just wanted to pitch that because I heard people like, you gotta be kidding me. They was going crazy.
That's what makes the movie. That's what makes the movie good, though. I guess that's why Dennis and Michael and Megan's performances are so amazing, because the film is so multi-layered. But take it away.
Yeah, I mean, that was one thing that I kind of had to like give myself over to, is as we were filming it, because it was conversations that we had, and Mike was like, no, she can't do that. And I'm like, exactly. And DEON would always explain to us, like, what we want is for you guys to have a reaction. We want for you to be invested. We want to hear you scream, to yell, to react, and all of that. So once I really gave myself over to that and just lived her truth instead of judging her, it made it fun. Like every screening that I've gone to in New York, they ripped me to shreds. But then it's funny because like in St. Louis, like it's a different type of energy and hospitality. They're like, well, until that one part. Then they were like, no, girl, no. But I gotta say, like, you know, I've by the grace of God, it's been a long journey. I've been in the business for over 30 years, and DEON. Thank you.
That's major. I don't understand. That's major.
I survived.
That's not 30 regular years. Like in movie years, that's like 90.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But thank you.
I'm not calling her-
listen.
I'm calling her a
I'm okay
survivor.
with my age and where I'm at in life.
no,
So
I'm
by the
calling
grace
her a
of God,
survivor.
I'm enjoying the journey. But I will say that these two are like my favorite people to work with that I have worked with. And DEON has been one of my most favorite directors because he brings so much energy and joy to the set and positive like attitude and outlook that, you know, every job that you do in life, you're spending your day living a life that, you know, God forbid, you don't know if it's here tomorrow. And so you want every single day to be full and to enjoy it and to have fun and to love what you're doing. And DEON brings that as a director. Every single day you feel like your day is like full and you appreciate being there and having the job and being around the energy. So
Thank you for that, Megan.
you're welcome. From the
And
heart.
then Michael, for you, this is sort of like a different. You've done a lot of stuff, but this was sort of a different look for you in The Intruder as an actor.
Yeah, first, thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate that.
Yes.
That means the world to us all. Yeah, when I first got the script, I knew Megan and Dennis were attached, and my first phone call was with DEON. And I remember being on the phone. I remember being on the phone being like, man, his energy is at a 10. I don't know how this is gonna work. But I also saw like a chance for me to do something that I hadn't done at that point in my career, which was I hadn't played in a thriller, and you know, obviously because of well, actually I did in Perfect Guy, but in The Perfect Guy, I was such a bad guy that I knew people would assume that somehow in this movie I was gonna try and kill Megan. So when we were doing press for this movie, I remember being like, I'm not gonna kill her. I love her, and I'm trying to protect her. I really am. But people just assume that from after The Perfect Guy that I want to kill everybody in my life. Between that and For Color Girls, it just doesn't work. But yeah, I was trying to be kind of the anti-hero of the movie, right? Like you know, Scott is not somebody who can fight. Scott is not somebody who can like fix stuff. I mean, you ain't gotta agree that hard. You know, he can't like fix stuff around the house. You know, he's not. You know, he's kind of a new guy. He's kind of a Renaissance dude. But you know, that being said, his instincts are right. His instincts in protecting his wife is right, and that was all I needed to say go. And from the moment we got started on this, all the phone calls, and DEON was extremely collaborative with both Megan and I and Dennis, and Joe. Let's shout out to Joe who couldn't be here tonight. Thank you. So we all were just kind of, the beautiful thing about making this movie was because it was independent, we didn't have like a lot of cooks in the kitchen. And that gave us kind of this more clear vision of what we were trying to make, right? So it was like, you talk to DEON, you talk to Roxanne, that was it. That was it. And that's rare. It rarely happens, but it also leads to a particular vision that you guys see. And like Megan said in her statement, oftentimes DEON would tell us, I'm telling you this moment's gonna work. I'm telling you this moment's gonna work. And as soon as we trusted him, it worked. Yeah. It worked. So for me, this was a chance to be in a thriller for the first time in somewhat of a heroic role rather than the villain. But I'm looking to get back into a villain role pretty soon.
Well, real quick, this question is for Roxanne, because one of the things that the NAACP has always promoted is entrepreneurship. So I really want you to answer this question so people have a clear understanding of what exactly an independent film is and what's the importance of being an independent film producer.
Well, do you guys got a lot of time or? So, I mean, you know, it's not, you know, filmmaking is very hard work. Obviously, being a 100% independent, you have to be on the ground from concept to delivery, even meaning now. I mean, this movie came out earlier in the year. We shot it, what, 2017? 2 years ago?
No, 18 to 18.
No,
Beginning of
2017.
Yeah.
Summer?
17.
Yeah.
Seven.
For all you
17.
film school students out there,
Listen to Roxanne.
producers always know. The producer always knows.
Yeah, it wasn't last year. Anyway, I mean, you know, from you know, being 100% independent, you have to raise your own financing, which is so hard to do, to get somebody to believe in your vision. And you're not, you know, an A-list actor, actress, producer, director, and with no one attached to go get money for your film is very, very hard to do, right? To have someone take a chance and believe in you. We're fortunate to have that partner in us with Robert Smith. Kudos to him for believing in us from day one. You know, and then really taking that small $4 million and making a movie stretch from development to pre-production to shooting the movie to posting the movie to the marketing, promotions, to even today. I mean, you're constantly out of pocket. You constantly are betting on yourself. You know, you never have enough time to shoot the movie. You know, I feel so bad sometimes for our director because I'm always in his ass all day, every day, rushing him on his craft to get what he needs on that screen. But we have such a small budget and a short time frame to get it done that it's compromised, you know what I mean? And you're taking so many sacrifices. But everybody's so great in understanding at that time because they're professionals and they figure out, okay, what can we sacrifice and what we can't sacrifice on the screen. And it's really important to be able to figure that out. You have to edit as you're shooting along the way. You know, we often always go over 14, 16 hours a day shooting. You know, we probably had about 8 camera teams on this set because people were quitting because of the long hours, because of the demand. We were in a whole nother country in Canada shooting. So I didn't have the luxury of calling people in my Rolodex to replace people. I mean, we had ADs. We had maybe about 8 ADs, too. Six ADs. I mean, it was very tough. But at the end of the day, like, our name is on the line, and I wasn't leaving Canada without a movie, and we damn sure weren't coming back. And that night of the restaurant scene, I'm like, y'all taking y'all ass out there to Cucamonga or whatever the hell we went at 4 o'clock in the morning to shoot that scene because we weren't coming back to Canada. So, you know, being independent, and really, we didn't go back, you know, and we got that movie done. And, you know, it was, we fought, we clawed, we scratched the whole entire way, but the whole entire time you have to keep a smile on your face. You can't crack. You can't let anybody see you fail. You know what I mean? You have to succeed. You have to push on. And I have to keep the talent and the director, they can't know what's going on really behind the scenes, you know? It's my 100% job to make sure, other than what they obviously see, that they know everything is okay, you know, and that we're gonna get through this, we're gonna get the movie made, don't worry about anything, what do you need, how can I help? It's really just to make them comfortable every second of every day and give them what they need to get through that movie, you know, and that's by any means necessary. And so that's what I feel like a producer has to do. I mean, you don't have a team of people like a studio. Literally, it was me. I mean, I had some Canadian support. They all walked away in the middle of the movie, nowhere around, nobody to help. It was really us out there in the trenches. Now, I cried at night, you know what I mean, with nobody seen. But no, seriously, I mean, you got to get the money, you got to go make the movie, you got to put it in the can, because nobody cares about none of that. At the end of the day, where's the movie? And did you get it done? And where it's at, and what we gonna put on this screen? They don't care about any of that. What happened? How did it happen? How'd you get there? When you're done? How many days? How many hours? They don't care, you know? So you just have to keep pushing. You have to keep pushing, and you gotta just bet on yourself and believe in yourself, and God will take care of the rest.
There you go.
And I just want to,
Yeah, Mike.
I just want to kind of piggyback on what Roxanne was saying, is that this is a beautiful thing about making an independent film, is that it does take a village. But in terms of like quarterbacking this thing, I mean, she really did, like, we definitely had our fair share of problems in making this movie. And like she said, I'm not leaving Canada without this movie. The beauty of that, though, for all of you, especially you young filmmakers, is that when you see that movie up on the screen, you don't see any of the drama. You don't see any of the quitters. You don't see any of that. And what makes it magical is when we all felt this when we saw it with audiences, I think everybody just took like a huge sigh of relief, because all they had to do was enjoy the movie. That was it. Like, all the work, all the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears was done. And now that it's on the screen, you can just enjoy it and freak out and get scared and yell at Megan. All of that, all of that was by design, but it took a whole lot of work to get there. But the beautiful thing is that if you push through, the reward is that reaction from the audience. It really is that reaction from the audience. And ending up number 2 opposite Avengers.
What number?
Avengers.
Number 2?
Number 2.
Number 2.
Yes.
Number 2.
The highest grossing film of all time, and we was number 2.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, I mean, without, I mean, the team that really did push through, I mean, everybody that pushed through made this movie magical on the screen. No one gave up. Everybody who came, they came out, they showed up, and they showed out, you know? And that's why we got the reaction from you guys tonight in the theater. That's what makes it all worth it.
Well, let's do this. Since you guys love the movie so much, let's take a couple. We got time to take a couple questions from the audience. I'm gonna try to be fair. Let's go. We'll go ladies first. This young lady right here, and say it loudly. And if the whole auditorium can't hear it, I'll repeat it back. Oh, there he's got a mic. There we go. Boom.
Hi, Latricia Renee, celebrity host. I actually interviewed you guys before.
And I don't think it's on.
I don't think it's on.
Hello?
There you go.
Okay. So I actually like Megan's character because I'm originally from Mississippi, and I thought it was more of a Southern kind of hospitality. Yeah. She just didn't think anything was wrong with what was going on. She cared enough. She was very kind and loving towards everyone. Even forgave her husband for cheating before they got married. So
Allegedly.
Well, but I saw in the movie that they were giving those tips that she is from the South. She wasn't. She was just in California and lived that life, but her heart was mainly Southern. Yeah. And I didn't really, get upset at her, But I thought that with so many different characters and characteristics, she had to figure it out, at the very end. And I was actually excited, and I'm not a violent person, that it was a murder at the end. Honestly, with all the things that were going on, I didn't want to accept, oh my God, this is great. No, but I felt like, okay, it was justified.
Self-defense.
Exactly.
There you go.
I was just gonna say, what's interesting?
I appreciate that.
A lot of the, when you step into these films and you make these characters, and for a lot of you guys out here, when you don't have a lot of time to make these types of films, it's important that you actually create characters that are three-dimensional and have backstories that could ooze out throughout the film. And what's really great about this movie, even if you're not really paying attention to who they are, Mike's character is so dynamic to the point to where at the end of the film, you all believe he's never used a gun before. And that's because that was set up in the first act of the movie. He doesn't use guns. He doesn't use weapons. He's not a man's man. On the opposite side of the spectrum is old school man, Charlie Peck. This is tech man, millennial man versus old school man. So those things are being drawn in the film without you guys knowing it. Megan, you hit it right on the head. She works in outreach. She has her own business. She came from Indiana, right? That's that. So everything you're kind of saying is what they really were written to be, and that's really important. No matter if you got $1 million or $100 or $1,000, when you make the characters, is the fact that they have to be something. You know what I mean? They can't just be themselves in the movie. So that was a great point. Thank you.
All right, where'd the floating microphone go? You have the mic? All right, cool. And
Okay.
We're going to try to work our way back since you just grabbed it. Go ahead.
I snatched that thing.
You good.
Got to be aggressive.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, first of all, I have to say that movie was amazing. You guys did a really good job. I jumped, and that's my genre. I call it like a skriller, Megan, I have a question for you. Would you ever consider doing a movie for a student?
That was a very loaded question. Truthfully, if I really like the project, then probably.
Okay, so how do we get it to you?
You ain't right.
Yeah. You can email me,
Okay,
Right.
I'm going to make sure I get your email for sure.
Roxanne at hiddenempirefilmgroup.com.
Okay, got it. All right.
Okay, let's pass this young
Hidden
lady. Let's
Empire
pass the
Film
mic over. We have time for 2 more questions. Oh, well, she's next because she walked all the way from up top down. And then this young lady, come down. And you two have the final 2 questions.
Got you.
But pass the,
I got the
okay,
mic.
Go ahead.
Okay, I got the mic. So just a quick question for Megan, even Michael. So I got to tell you, even from, your filmography from 30 years ago, I know there's a lot of people in this room that have been following you throughout your career. you know, and I know it's awesome, especially in the past 10 years, you know, just your life transformation, you know, your marriage to pastor has been so awesome to see. So I just have a question for you. Just how does your choices in the films that you select to play in, how has that changed in, you know, in the recent history?
Well, just for clarity, my husband's not a pastor. He's a minister. But it's interesting because Devon's, his day job is he is a film producer. And that's how we reconnected on this film called Jumping the Broom. But we're both super Christian, super sold out for Jesus, have been our whole lives. And I think what some people don't know about me is I got saved when I was 12. I got baptized when I was 19. So when I was doing stuff like the cover of King magazine or whatever it is, as a Christian, the way that I grew up, the world I grew up, which is the entertainment business, the way I see things might be a little bit different and a little bit more liberal than a conservative Christian. So for me, I'm thinking, you know, I'm not in lingerie. I'm not in a bathing suit. This is not a back shot. This is not my breast. This is me saying you can still be sexy and beautiful without showing all of this or without doing all of that. That was my mindset but at 21, 22 years old. And as I continue to grow, that mindset continues to grow as well. So in terms of films that I choose, again, for someone who might be more of a conservative Christian, they might be like, well, she was just doing the scene with Michael and blah, 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 you know. But for me, you know, I believe that, shut up. But for me, it's, you know, it's really about God allowed me to be in this business. And it's not really about me. It's about the platform that he's given me to build the kingdom and to use influence. And I understand it could be anybody else, but he's allowed me to be in this position. And so I just try to do a good job as an actor. And, you know, if there's something I'm not sure about, I'll pray about it. If it's something that I feel like is going against God or disrespecting God, I won't do it. But again, some of my creative choices, I have my reasons for them. Like, for instance, I did a movie, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago where my character got possessed. And somebody as a Christian might be like, why did she do that? And my reason for doing it is because my character was the only character who didn't believe in God. And so I felt that there was a lesson in how that panned out with that character. Rather on the good side or the bad side, I felt that there was a lesson to the character that I was playing. So I can't say that it's changed dramatically because I've gotten married. My husband knows who he married. He loves who he married. He doesn't want to change me. He supports me. And so I just grow as an artist, and I just keep my eyes on God and ask him, what do you say, Lord? And it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else, just to me and him.
All right. You get the honor doing it because they're telling us we got to get her here. So you're going to do the last question, then we'll wrap it up. So go ahead with the mic.
Hi. My name is Damari Scobie, and this question is actually for DEON. First, Megan, I love you so much. You're such a light and an inspiration to me, so hi. Yeah, so my question is actually for you. I am a student here, and I will become an Oscar-winning director, yes. Yes, speak it into existence.
Girl, speak it out.
Yes, okay. So I wanted to know, where did you find your team? I came to LA about 5 years ago. This is actually my second bachelor's, and honestly, I've been to like 1,000 networking events, and I've only found like maybe one person who flakes out on me. And I've actually found a lot of people, like a tiny little team here so far, to work with. So how did you meet the people you are working with today? And where, like, do you have any resources or like any meetup groups that you would recommend for students to go to?
That's a hard question. I would say, first off, for all the young filmmakers, writers, directors, actors, everybody in here that's actually interested in film, the first team you have to build is yourself. You have to, and this is not an asshole answer. I'm trying to make sure you really understand what I'm gonna tell you. All of the things that a team would normally do, you have to do first. The biggest asset I have is her, as a producer, as a partner. Being able to ping pong ideas together, or figure out how we want to raise money, or if we don't have any money, or if we're going to run out of money on Thursday and we need 5 more days to shoot. The ability for her to tell me that automatically makes me go, okay, what 3 scenes can I shoot to complete the movie by Thursday? So the rest of those 20 pages, I can't do anymore. So in the middle of the night, I'm scratching the script up, rewriting it so I can finish it by Thursday night, calling them on the phone to tell them we've made these changes because it's better, right?
You ain't tell them that now.
Right? No, this is for real. But why I'm saying that to you is because team means you might not have a great wardrobe person. It's you. What do you see? You might not have a great location person. What do you see? You might not have a great editor, but they could clip it together. What's wrong with the cut? What do you see? All of those things go to you as a filmmaker. Each and every movie we've made, which she just told you, including this film, they was in war. I was in heaven, like, all right, let's get this shit while they arguing. Like, because I know for a fact I can't come back. I know for a fact no one cares that we're at 3 o'clock in the morning and we need one more shot. Don't know, but it's gonna affect me as a filmmaker. So all of those things, when it comes down to a team, you have to be the team. Find one other person that believes in what it is you believe in, that's willing to rock and roll with you. And then what'll happen is as you begin to go down that road, you'll begin to find like-minded people that you can collect. But you're not gonna go to a Starbucks and meet with 7 people on Sundays and be like, damn, you're really good, we should be a team. That doesn't happen because everyone has a different agenda. You have to find people that want to actually operate to your agenda. You have to find people, you can't have 7 chiefs. You gotta have one person that's a chief, that's a great chief. That's like, man, I welcome your ideas, I welcome your energy, you tell me when I'm wrong. You gotta have a chief like that, but you gotta have a bunch of people that's willing to go and rock and roll and create your vision. If they're not willing to do that, you're gonna be in a fight every time. And when you don't have any money, when you don't have any assets, when no one is checking for you, the only thing you have is sweat equity in people. So you need to have people that's willing to do the work and not looking for their name to be, oh, I was my idea first, and then you came and said this, and then I said that. But remember, I had that one thing. Like, I'm like, man, if you don't get your ass out of here, like we're trying to make a movie. Now you telling me what idea you had. That's not what it's about. And film is that way. And for us as a people, we have a trait that we have to actually fight like that. Because we always have to be one up on top. And nobody else could be up there. The moment that you realize, like, yo, it ain't about you, it's about what you're trying to create, and let everybody win, that's when you're gonna win, okay?
And that's why DEON and his team at Hidden Empire, they didn't just release one movie this year, they released 2 movies this year. They did The Intruder on May 3rd, turned around and released Black and Blue on October 25th. Independent film company, 2 movies, 1 year, baddest director in the game. For all you people in the house, make sure you follow Black and Blue and The Intruder and DEON and ROXANNE on all social platforms. Keep supporting Hidden Empire. Tell people that you saw The Intruder. You can still watch it on VOD. Tell people about Black and Blue. You can still watch it on VOD. And thanks a lot for coming out tonight.
Black and Blue is in the theater.
Oh, yeah,
Hold on now. You're going a little bit too fast now.
Yeah, no, I'm going too fast. Yeah.
No, but let me just say one thing. For everybody out there before we leave, first of all, thank you so much to all the critics. Anybody out there that has the ability to vote for these types of films, please, we're asking you guys to reach out, tell someone, support the movies for us, get behind this because, like he just said, this is 100% independent. We've done it as a family. We've done it with people that look just like you, people that want to be in the film business. We've done it collectively that way, the right way. So movies like The Intruder, which blew people away, movies like Black and Blue, where Naomi Harris and Tyrese are through the roof. Please take a moment, support these types of films because we are really on the ground as regular people making an impact in Hollywood as regular people. There is no magic about what we're doing. It's just hard work, dedication, and making sure that we're good people. So thank you for everybody that came tonight. We really appreciate it.
Give it up one more time for Michael Ealy.
Thank you.
Meagan Good, Roxanne Taylor, and DEON Taylor. Thanks for coming out tonight, everybody. Thanks NAACP Hollywood Branch. Thanks Los Angeles Film School and everybody else in the house tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention,
We got
please?
gifts.
May I have your attention? Ernesta Mensa and the ladies of Entertainment and Distinction, please come to the stage. Everyone else, please take a seat, or we will meet you in the lobby. We're going to do a photo op with our sponsor. The panel is doing a photo op right now with our sponsor. Please, if you're not part of LEAD, can you step away from the stage? We're just going to take a quick shot with our photographer. We will meet you in the lobby. We have gifts for you.